Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Transformation Conversations. It is Coach Gail Benson, and I am here to join you for episode 9 of Transformation Conversations, where we are going to have dialogue, engage, and dive in with a panel of magnificent women. So come in here, like and subscribe to this thing so we can continue to come together and engage and have real organic conversations and dialogue and find out how we can stand shoulder to shoulder to take the world over and maneuver through our lives and our days together. So I am going to bring, with further ado, I'm going to bring these magnificent women to you. I am going to bring them up one by one, and I have Elevate with Vern coming here to the stage. Vern, thank you for joining us. I have Queen Essentials, Odwike Nesbitt
Hello.
joining us. Thank you so much. And of course, the fabulous Connect with Summer. Thank you all for being on with me tonight on the panel. I have been so excited about this all night. How have you been doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for this
Amazing.
opportunity.
Amazing. Blessed to be alive.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Thank you so much. So, what we're going to do is, I'm going to be a respecter of time because I'm not going to hold you hostage. I've been waiting for this and I want us to get right into it. So, I wanted to have this conversation. I originally thought I was just going to come on and do my, solo audio recording and post it. But I will tell you, in the planning process, I found myself very overwhelmed. um Life was life, and I was trying to life back. It wasn't working. It just wasn't working, and I wanted to talk about it, and I felt like this is not something I need to talk about on my own. I need to talk to other women who can shine their light and that I can learn from and help me understand that I'm not crazy. It's not just me that feels a heaviness when I'm going throughout the day. So I'm going to pick on Vern because I'm just going to go in the order that I see you on my screen, and welcome all of your communities. First of all, before I get up in that thing, please, Vern, welcome your community. After you welcome your community, Psalms, welcome your people. And Odie,
Hey,
welcome
my
your folks.
booskies.
What is
Yes,
up?
Woo! Thank y'all for
Thank
being
you,
here.
everyone, from coming in. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you all for sharing, sharing your communities with us. It is an honor. They have been sharing this thing out. Thank you all, wherever you are and whoever it may be. I want to say thank you to you all for coming in and being a part of this conversation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want to get started. I see Chris Kevin, he said, woohoo! That's how I feel. So, Chris Kevin, we're not going to disappoint. We're going to get started. We're going to get off in this thing right now. So, Vern, I want to start off with you. You're over here to my right, which looks like my left, but it's really my right. And just kind of piggyback off of what I was saying, that just about the day to day, dealing with our day to day on top of the overexposure to everything that we have access to in the world today on the internet, social media, the news, and so forth.
It is something where you definitely have to have a connection, in my opinion, with Jesus Christ. You have to have a connection with God because you will get overwhelmed. There is so much
Mhm.
trash that you literally have to pick through it to see, and you can't get
Right.
caught up because you can watch something. Again, I say like TikTok. You get on TikTok and start scrolling, and next thing you know, it's 4 hours later. You be like, I done sat here and went down this rabbit hole. So we have to
Right.
be careful and be intentional about what we're watching, what we're doing. There are some things, and I'm gonna be very honest, some places and people that I have blocked because their channel is not conducive to what I like and what I want. I don't want to see little
Right.
children fighting. I don't want to see women fighting. I don't want to see people getting hurt. So I
Mhm.
unsubscribe from that because that is not in my repertoire of what I feel comfortable watching. And some people may not be comfortable watching me with my pom-poms talking about God. And that's okay, because I'm a cheerleader for Jesus Christ. Okay. So,
Okay.
you know, there's some things you have to unsubscribe from. Just like emails. You get all these emails, you have to unsubscribe because your email box will get full. And that's us. We're get full with junk and gunk, right? So we have to remove it. So I'm gonna let somebody else talk.
Wonderful. You know what that is, and that's very true, Vaughn. We have to be intentional about protecting our space. And even though our jobs and our businesses require us to be exposed to social media and certain things, but we do have to be intentional. And that brings me to Summer, because Summer is a social media manager, brand manager. So Summer, I can only imagine, how do you maneuver through and protect your peace when you do have to, your business relies on social media?
So hi, for those that don't know me, my name is Summer, but I go by the name Sums. I'm 27 years old. I'm from New York City. I'm the CEO and founder of Published by Sums. I am the brand specialist and the social media manager. So the question that Gail has asked me is that how do I deal with this? I'm going to be honest. Being a social media manager, being a brand specialist is not for the weak. That I can tell you that, because it is a time-consuming profession that what I do, I'm coming across different business owners and different customers as well. So my specialty is working with B2B, B2C with small business owners. So with social media, it can get overwhelming. I do have days where I want to delete social media so bad, but then I have to realize I have a business page. I have clientele that is relying on looking for me for social media. Some of my clients that I know, a few of them personally, but some of them don't know me, either from referrals, word of mouth, stuff like that. And how do I manage that? I don't know if you guys have this on your phone, but I'm gonna give you some free gems, right? Put your Instagram usage less than 30 minutes. What I do is they'll tell me like, ooh, time's up. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty. I ignore it sometimes, because I may be searching up something, whatever the case may be, but do your best to not consume it too much, because I don't know if you guys have iPhone, but every Sunday it will tell you the amount of times that you spend on your phone. We all have 24 hours a day, but however, you need to use that wisely. Time is something you're not going to get back. Yeah, you can have all the money all you want, but at the end of the day, it's like this. What is your why? Why are you doing this for? Explain, figure out why you're doing this. Utilize, like Vern said, elevate where Vern said it. You're going to have to subscribe to certain pages. I'm not going to lie. I subscribe to pages like Toxic, like Justin LaBoy, The Shade Room, no harsh feelings. I'm not gonna lie, some of the pages can be funny, but you gotta realize what is your intention for the day. You gotta make today count. You gotta move with intention. You cannot just wake up. I'm sorry, I hate to break this to you. You cannot wake up just to go about your day. I don't know how people can do it. You just really need to center attention. You are what you consume, not only social media, with foods, anything that you do. And it can get overwhelming because, you have these financial gurus, you got different opinions of things, nutritionists, whatever niche, whatever industry there is, but you need to figure out what resonates with you. What are the pages that are going to enlighten you? There is a lot of negative energy. I don't want to see a page about, no disrespect to anybody that's watching this, I don't want to see pages every single week and popping bottles at the club. Like, that gets tiring. If I really want to go to the club, I can go to the club myself, respectfully. You just gotta really realize that you have to set that intention, and it's okay to do an unfollowing spree as well. I did it before on my old personal page, because just energy is really big. Energy is really big. And
Absolutely.
And another thing I'm gonna say is that social media got us in competition. We're talking about, I'm 27. I see people younger than me live alone. I have friends that live on their own, whether they live in an apartment or a homeowner and stuff like that. You gotta realize that your journey and everything is in God's timing. Yes, manifest all you want, but you need to put in the action. So sorry for going a little off topic.
No apology whatsoever. As usual, I already knew you was gonna be on point with it. That is so true, because everything, you in moderation. We all look at some things that might be funny, but after a while, it's not funny anymore. We want to feed our souls with how to move ourselves forward. That's a great idea. I'm going to do that screen timer so that I can really be intentional about my time, because like we all have the same 24 hours in the day, but what we have to do with it and what we do with it, is two different things. Because Vern said it happens so easily. You'll go on TikTok for a second, and then that second turn into 4 hours, and that's 4 hours going that you are not going to get back. I mean, you are not going to get back. Summer, thank you so much for and please don't apologize, because
And
that
one last,
means gems. I said that those gems that you just dropped, we needed to hear those. We needed to hear that, because it has to help us align with what our intention is. What is our goal? What do we intend to do when we come on social media, especially when we own businesses? So thank you so much for sharing that with us and being very real and transparent with it. I'm going to go over to Odie and just have her also introduce herself and share some of her day to day and the things that she's noticing in her line of business as well in her industry.
Hello, everyone. I am Oda Queen Nesbitt. Everyone calls me Odie or Quee, whichever you prefer. But I kind of want to piggyback off of what Sons was saying about the limiting yourself on social media on all platforms. And it's imperative in this time that we're living in. It's imperative to monitor what you are intaking into your spirit, because we got a lot of
Right.
stuff going on, and the things we hear, the things we see, and the things we say are major in this time that we are living in today. There's so much hate and misery going on. I don't want all of that on me, that energy. I have done recently, and I've done this a while back, but recently, what I've done, I've cleared out a lot of contacts in my phone, my emails, people that I follow on social media, all of that stuff. If it's not got anything to do with my peace, it's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes
Mm-hmm.
family. Is we're gonna be real about it. It includes family. Sometimes you have to take a step back from family and let them feel how they feel, because at the end of the day, if they are bringing toxicity into your space, remove them. Love them from a distance. At the end of the day, we're still blood. I still love you. I don't want anything bad for you, but my peace is more important than anything. So also, another thing I want to say, be okay with saying no. That's something I had to learn. I was always the person that anything happens, oh, she'll do it. Oh, just ask her. Yeah, the way my life is set up right now, no. And I'm so okay with saying no. We have to learn how to
Mm-hmm.
say no and be okay with people accepting that. That's a hard thing for a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
to deal with. When you say no,
Mm-hmm.
well, you used to. Well, what I used to do and what I do now is two
Exactly.
different things, because my peace, I keep saying peace because it's important that we find our peace. However, that is for everybody that may be watching this, find your peace and don't let anybody take it from you. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Odie, for saying that. And that is something that we definitely have
Mhm.
to put in the forefront, because family often feels entitled to your
Mhm.
energy and your time.
Absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
have to set that boundary around what that entitlement looks like, because we have to dispel that. Just because we're related, Okay, what I have for me to do and what your view of what you think that I have time to do is two different things because we're
Mhm.
on different plateaus. I am a business owner. I own several businesses. I barely have time for the people that live in my house. And it's the things that people want you to prioritize according to their view and where they are. What I have learned to do with family, friends, extended family, what and so forth, I have learned to give people the grace to be where they are, and I give myself the peace to
There you
leave
go.
them there
That's it.
because I cannot carry everyone's weight and expectations along with me on my journey. I got enough stuff in my own bags. And when it's time for me to unpack, I don't want to see you in there. I need to unpack my own stuff.
Right.
So thank you for bringing that up because we have a lot of things clamoring at us on a daily basis. And when we were backstage, I was talking to Vern about that, is that I don't think we really realize how much we carry on a daily basis. And when we sit down and think about it, whose mind is blown about everything that you accomplished while carrying so much stuff with you? Because I know when I sit and think about it, all I can say is, thank you, God, because I don't know how I did it. And the difference between us and a lot of people is no matter what we have going on. And I'm so thankful that I can really say this because I've seen this with you women on your business pages and on social, you still show up. And you show up with a smile on your face and you don't make excuses and you don't share your pain and trauma bond with people so they can kind of feel bad for you and then give you a back door to make excuses to not show up. And that's one thing I want to applaud you women on. Vern, Psalms, and Odie. I see you all showing up every day and you inspire me to do the same. So thank you for being that for me. Thank you for being that for your communities. So while I'm saying that about your communities, I'm just seeing the comments just going wild. I'm trying to make sure I let everybody I'm trying to catch so you know that your people are in the building. So if you see your people on this screen, on this panel, put some fire in the chat for your girls. Put some fire in the chat for Psalms. Put some fire in the chat for Vern, baby, because I see them booskies out there showing up and showing out. Put some fire in the chat for Odie, baby, because her community is here. I see my sister-in-law. Sister-in-law, fire in that chat for me, girl. But I love it. I love how your communities show up for you, and that says a lot about you. So, what I want to do now is kind of take a step back, and I want to go through each and every one of you and ask about your inspirations because all three of you are women business owners. So I'm gonna start with Psalms and just ask her about her inspiration to get started and how she's keeping up being that powerhouse that she is in her industry. Psalms, take it away, girl.
So, what is my inspiration? In regards to inspiration, I say my parents because my parents they sacrificed a lot for me. Although my mom was a single mom and my parents are still together, they still got up when times is hard. They still got up when things were not going right in the house. My mom would be sick, would still go to work. You know, my mom, there were days she barely had sleep. She would still go to work. The same with my dad. My dad, that's where I kind of get the entrepreneur spirit from because my dad is a dentist. You know, I remember when my grandfather died from my dad's side, he still showed up to work. I looked at him like, Dad, you're possessive because me, I wouldn't even showed up. You know, like it's the strong resilience that, yeah, I wouldn't do it either. It's the strong resilience that my dad has, and my mom has resilience as well. You know, so both of them, I have both of their personalities, I kind of like their mixture. But you know, today we're gonna talk about me, where my inspiration is because my why, right? My why is to get out the hood, to get out of my mom's house. You know, yes, I'm proud to be from New York, but it's time for a change. You're getting at that age where like you want to get out, of your parents' house, you know. Sometimes, like Gail said it, like certain family members, certain people in your life, you feel like you're suffocating in a box where you start to feel like misery. It will get to the point that where you have to force yourself to get out the house because you don't like being home. You know, there's things that comes into place. And you know, the real reason why I got into entrepreneurship was I was struggling to find a job when I was in college, you know, and I'm like, yo, why I can't look for a job, why I can't have a normal job like everybody else. But I also started to realize I think God didn't want me to be like everybody else. This is when I was finishing on my associates. God didn't want me to be like everybody else, you know? And if it wasn't for my friend that I'm still cool with to this day that I went to college with, her old co-worker asked me to do a YouTube banner. If it wasn't for that girl, huge shout out to Daisy Perez, did not reach out to me, Published by Sons will not exist to this day, you know? I've been doing this for 5 years, you know? I've been through the pandemic, when business wasn't stagnant, when I was jobless, job hunting, all of that stuff, I've been through it, but I had faith because I knew it was my why. At first, yes, I didn't understand. Like your mindset had to change completely. You know, I did other business ventures as well, but I started to realize you're doing this. It's like this summer. You're doing this is because you couldn't settle for an average lifestyle from everybody else. You know, your grind has to be a lot different. The lifestyle you want, I have to grind 10 times harder than everybody else. The way I grind, it feels like I have to pay rent and I have a child, which I don't have any kids. I'm just a rich auntie, but you know, but it's prepared me for situations like that because, you know, because, okay, I'll be like, okay, I got everything done when I was kid free, but now that I have this child, yes, things are going to be changing. You know, but at least I can say I got a lot more hours. I got more hours done when I didn't have a kid versus when I have a kid, you know. I'm putting it into a perspective. So it got to the point last year in 2023, I had to hire interns. I was doing everything by myself. It got to the point I was burnt out. I was sitting in my living room in a table, like if that was my office, I'm like, what to do? And nobody helped me to hire interns. I had to do it all by myself, going on Indeed. Last year was in a relationship, still looking for a job, which I also do have a 9 to 5, and still hiring interns, living off a check to check. You just have to ask yourself, how bad do you really want to run your business? How bad do you really want it? You know, because yes, it's summertime. I hate to break this to you. Who cares? It's summertime outside. When it's the summertime, it will reveal you who is the seasonal entrepreneurs and who's really about it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, everybody can go to happy hour, can go to brunch, but you really gotta ask yourself, what are the sacrifices that you making to get where you want to be in 5 years or 10 years or longevity? My goal, besides to get out the hood, is time freedom and financial freedom. No offense to anybody, a 9 to 5 is cool, but I want that freedom. I want that time and money freedom to do what I want to do, what I need to do on my time without somebody telling me when you can work, when you can't work, when you can go on vacation, when you can. No, that's not right. But it's more to being an entrepreneur. Some people look at an entrepreneur, for the money. No, if you have that mindset, the money, you're not, I hate to break this to you, you're not going to last long when you run a business. You're not going to last long. And I get it, everybody wants to be their own boss, but are you willing to do the things that the bosses are really to do? That's the question you really need to ask yourself. You know, social media makes it too easy, but not a lot of people are showing receipts. Not a lot of people are actually grinding. Not a lot of people are staying up late at night, late mornings, late nights, whatever the case may be, to really get up. You know, yes, being an entrepreneur comes in perks, but it comes into a point where it could be lonely, especially if you have nobody to support you. If you have friends that don't understand the vision. Yes, I have friends that still work a 9 to 5. You know, they support me, but they may not understand the vision that I want. Then I have some people like yourself and the people in this chat that they understand the vision of where I'm going to, you
Hmm.
know. So yes, social media, you get caught up. You just gotta know your why. You gotta pay attention what's in front of you, and also speaking things to an existence.
Oh, manifesting is real.
Manifesting, but still gotta put in the work.
Absolutely. Psalms, that was epic how you broke that down. Manifesting is real. Affirm yourself. Do not look for anybody else to affirm you. If you don't know who you are and you step into this arena and say you want to be a business owner, you want to be an entrepreneur, it all sounds cute. You can dress it up and post whatever you want on social media. But when I tell you the nights get long and the mornings are short, when you doing this thing, when you don't hardly have any energy and all the effort you putting in, the revenue ain't matching the effort, but you still do it because you know this thing is for you. That's when you know you in it because it's a part of you. You can anybody can jump in it, but I promise you everybody ain't gonna last.
That's a
So
fact.
we have to absolutely, because I'm telling you, when the pressure come, you got to learn how to press it back. And let me put a plug in there. My memoir Pressure is available on Amazon, Black Rose Books, and Barnes and Nobles, baby. Published on February 20th of 2024. But again, when pressure shows up, you have to learn how to press back, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's setting boundaries and protecting your space and your time. Because something Summer mentioned about her inspiration came from how she saw her parents make the sacrifices and how hard they worked. And I'm telling you, y'all, we unknowingly, subconsciously, we take that in and we repeat it. And if we're not careful, we're going to be that dad that don't take off and keep going to work. We're going to be that mom that's going to work sick. We are going to repeat the cycle until we transform ourselves out of our own traumas and our own BS. When I say BS, I mean our belief systems, the things that we saw that we didn't know was going to train us up to how we see the world. We have to be careful because I watched my mother sacrifice a whole lot. And it wasn't until she died that I realized that I had to do things differently. I had to. So watching that sacrifice, it paid off. It had a duality to it where it showed me there ain't nobody gonna give me anything. If I want it, I gotta go get it. It's not coming looking for me. It's not knocking on my door. I have to go and get it. And then once I get it, I gotta fight to keep it. And
Mhm.
that is the reality that I had to understand. How do I do that? And keep my mental and keep my peace. And I'm gonna tell you, it's some days where you don't get to do it all the time
Right.
because the environments and circumstances don't present themselves. But when you know who you are, you gotta greet that thing. What they say, grab the bull by the horns. Either I'm gonna drag the bull or the bull gonna drag me. Baby, I've been around here dragging. You understand me? I've been dragging. I've gotten drugged, but I'm still here and I still show up. So thank you all. Thank you, Summer, for sharing that. And I'm gonna patch over to Odie so that you can also share with us what inspired you to get into your industry and how are you maneuvering through your day-to-days with being a woman business owner.
Well, first, I want to say that um, the space that I'm in now is the space that I should have been in a couple years ago. And I knew that.
Mhm.
But when things present themselves and they looked all dressed up and everything, you jump on it and it's not what it you think it's going to be. You have to learn how to shift, and I had to
Mhm.
shift because I wanted more. What I was doing, it was all good and it was fun and everything, but I always knew that there was something else I should be doing, something else that was really going to be beneficial to help other people. A lot of times we get into a lot of different things because it's the end thing to do. or, oh, because my
Mm-hmm.
friend is doing it, I want to do it. In this season of my life, everything I do has to be intentional and strategic. I have to move in a way where I'm going to be moving up. I'm not trying to go down. I have to keep moving, elevating
Mm-hmm.
myself. So, what does that entail? That entails learning new things, stepping way outside of your comfort zone, doing something different. And with that, enjoying the space, because just doing something just because you think, oh, I'm going to make money off of it, that's not, that makes no sense, because you're going to be doing it begrudgingly. You're just doing it because, I can make this money. I'll move this way, move that way. Move with intention. Every morning I get up, before I start my day, I set my intentions. I write it down. I put the pen to the paper and I write down everything I want to get accomplished. Do I get everything accomplished by the end of the day? No. Do I beat myself up? No, because I'm human. Life is happening. Things happen. Last minute things you have to shift. That's where you got to learn how to shift when things happen. Because life is always going to happen. No matter how we try to maneuver through it, it's going to happen. So what do?
Mm-hmm.
You learn to adapt, move on. Okay, this didn't work out. Well, okay, well, that didn't work out. I can't beat myself up. I still got some more time for the rest of the day to get some things done. By the end of the day, whatever I didn't get done, I get it done the next day. If I don't, the following day, I'll get it done when it needs to be done. You have to strategize everything that you do. That's what I've been learning lately. Instead of trying to beat myself up and feel bad because I didn't get this accomplished. Okay, so I didn't get it accomplished. What does that mean? Does that mean that it's never going to happen? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means it didn't happen this day, but tomorrow's another day. If God gives me another day, you better believe I'm going to do everything I need to do to get that done that I didn't get the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Because life,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, life is happening. But what I want to say too, we have to learn how to live life and stop letting life live us, because we all know things are going to happen, but if we
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to move through life, we're going to be stuck. And I refuse to be in the same
Mm-hmm.
place next year that I'm in now. So that means I have
Absolutely.
work to do. I have still things I need to learn. You're never too old to learn new things. So we get caught
Mm-hmm.
up on seeing what social media says. Oh, you should be here by now, or you should be. No, I'm right where God wants me to be. Whatever I'm doing now, this is what He want me to do. How I move along, my journey and your journey, two different things. We're two different people. So how can our journey be the same? We have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
similarities, but our
Mm-hmm.
journey is going to be different, even if we're doing the same
Mm-hmm.
exact thing. The way you do it and the way I do it, we might get the same results, but it may be done differently. So we have to start renewing our mind and shifting how we think about stuff on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. So for me, I like to write it all down. I check off what I can check off, and what I don't get checked off, I got a new opportunity the next day to do it. I start all over again.
Love it, love it, love it. Love that, Odie. Thank you so much. And y'all know it, y'all saying a mouthful. I mean a mouthful. Where is the Bible? Because y'all preaching up in here tonight. So with that being said, I'm not even gonna interrupt the flow. Vern, do you want to go ahead and flow right on in right after Odie with how do you know, what inspired you to get into your space? And then what do you take with you every day so that you can be your best self at what you do for your booskies? Okay, what's up, booskies? I see y'all.
Yeah, they in
How do
here.
you do it?
So, what inspired me to get into the space of speaking and being a keynote speaker and public speaking and motivational is my life story. Um, And once I did a DNA and ancestry and found out, a little bit about me, I need to let people know this. And that was my inspiration. And God's know I prayed about this and prayed and prayed, and it's just coming to fruition now. It was a long time, but it's here, and I'm excited about it. And what I take with me, and most of my Booskies know that I've been saying this since they've known me, that prayer is really, really big in my life. God is first, period. Yeah, I'm sorry, I have to forsake everybody for him. Kids, spouse, parents,
Absolutely.
everything, job. Listen, we have, right? So we have to make sure that we are giving God his time so he can bless us with what he wants us to go. Not so much where we want to go, where he wants us to go. So I just got on my first airplane 2 years ago, y'all. So, this was a really big thing for me. Being from New York, we don't really like fly. We don't get on all that because we have all that transportation there. But yeah, so it was my first time on a plane. But the thing that I take with me, and this is a quote that I say, and everybody knows that I say this, is trust the entire process. And what does that mean? That means when you're going through the valleys, you got to trust God. When you're on your highs, you got to trust God. When you're in the middle, you got to trust God. But you got to be humble and let God know you're thankful for what you have, such as clean drinking water. Hello? Right here in the good old US of A, right? Lights, right. Food in your refrigerator. There's somebody right next door now that you don't know what they're going to eat tomorrow, right? You have a job. You should be thankful. Right? It may not be the best job, but guess what? You don't have everything you want, but you have everything you need. Right. And if you understand and take with you that God is your provider, well, for me, God is my provider in everything. And I can't do anything without him. I'm sorry. I just get emotional when I talk about him because this is really God's help. Like, I can't do anything without him, without his word. And, I talk about mindset. Shifting your mindset is super important. We've all been through things in life, right? I was my mom died at childbirth with me. I had a stroke at 9. I was a young widow at 23 years old with 4 babies under 5 in New York City, baby. Okay. In Brooklyn, New York. And talking about this doesn't only help me, but it could help someone else. But in my mindset, if I would have let that got to me, I could have had my kids in a foster home. I could have been a prostitute. I could have been a drug addict. Let's keep it real. Come on. I'm being honest. If I can do that, right? I could have been any of those things. But we have to know that your mindset, and if God is not for you, I get it. But whatever is going to make you a better person, for me, it's God. I had to find him and seek him and lean on him and desire him and need him and want him, right? And depend on him for everything. So for me, overcoming adversity, and now I get to enjoy my life. I get to speak about it on social media. I get people coming to me, oh, can you speak on my panels? Can you come out to Tennessee? Can you come out to Florida? Can you come out to Georgia? Can you come here to speak? Right? So that is what inspires me. And, I'm going to keep on going. Thank you, Booskies, for being here. I see y'all. Thank you. So I'm going to rest the mic.
Yes. Thank you. That was amazing. Let me tell you something. I will never expect anybody to apologize when they talk about the goodness of God, because one thing we will never understand, that we don't know the story behind your praise. We don't know how far he has brought you. We don't know the glass and the coals that you have had to walk on, that he covered and protected you through. We don't know any of that. So for that, all I can say is thank you, God, for carrying her. Thank you, God, for her increase, because I will tell you something. The journey is not always easy, but when we go through challenges, or what we say is the hard part, that is preparation. He loves us enough to prepare us for what we don't yet see today. So the things that I went through in the past, I had no idea how he was setting me up. And all of my billowing and complaining and crying, I didn't know in the pain there was still peace, and he was protecting me. He was preparing me. I didn't know that I had to lose my mother to become the woman and to have the story that I have today. I didn't know that they almost dying, letting my health go, being grief stricken and being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. I did not know that that story was going to bring light to other women. And I had to be okay that that was a part of my story, because it was a time where I was embarrassed. It was people close to me and even in my family didn't know I was in the hospital, didn't know I had a heart attack, didn't know that I had been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. They knew that I was struggling with my mother's death, but they had no idea. And I had to learn how to stop being embarrassed, and I had to embrace the journey. It wasn't easy. No, it was not. But the only way I got through it, because I had to remember who was in control. And all I could say was, God, if you are using me, you're going to have to do all of it, because I ain't got it. I don't have it. So if you're going to keep me here and use me, you're going to have to do it all and build me up so that I can walk upright and I can stand up and I can represent you and find the people who need to hear my voice. And there was a time when I was like, I don't want to keep talking about when I was depressed. Don't nobody want to keep hearing about when I was struggling and I was in the hospital. You know what? The people, that's my story, is the language to my people. So whoever needs me and needs my light, they will gravitate. God will bring them to me because of my story. I don't know how we all ended up here, but I do know it's alignment. Because when I met Summer last month, when I saw her in that walk in that door and sit at the table at the woman to woman monthly meetup that I had no idea the power that I had access to until God brought us together. Summer, I thank you. And I'm honored to meet you. And I know that this is not the end of the story. Odie, you already know how God brought us together. We had no idea when we jumped into a business venture together, and that when it fell apart, it really wasn't about that business. It was about God lining us up because He knew we needed each other on our journeys. And I want to say thank you so much for being that unwavering support. I appreciate you, and I pray God continuously, richly blesses you. And let me wrap this up with Vern. I had no idea that I was going to see Vern on a webinar. But that was last week. Mind you, on my pressure page for my book, I have been following Vern for over a year. And I saw her on that webinar and I was like, that looked like Elevate with Vern. And but I didn't pay attention to it. And I kept looking and I said, is that her? And I heard her voice and I looked at the name and then that private message. I was like, Vern, follow you on Instagram. Let me tell you, I watched Vern and I found her at a very difficult time in her life and she was sharing. She was sharing her story. Mind you, I was still struggling at that time. She didn't know me. I didn't know her. I was just getting on her morning prayer lives. And it was, and as difficult of a time that was for Vern, she was still showing up and she was still praying. She was praying with tears in her eyes. She was crying. We was praying for her and for her family, but she still showed up and she let her light shine. Vern, you may not have felt that the light was on, but baby, it was on because you shined that light on me. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you ladies are a blessing. I know you're a blessing to your communities because they have showed up here tonight. For some, y'all don't know me. You do now, but y'all don't know me. All you knew that your people was going to be on here and have now become my people, and they showed up. So let me just tell y'all this real quick. Y'all my people now too. So don't be alarmed if you see me start following you all on Instagram. We want to render love and support to everybody that reaches out and that needs it. The light will always outshine the darkness. And I want to tell you, you are exactly where you need to be. If you don't have a belief system, you don't have a relationship with God, I'm not here to preach that to you, but I am here to plant the seed that we will only make it by His grace. We will only make it because of the power and the love and the promise that He has for us. Every gift that we have, every woman on here was intentionally and strategically created. Summer said that she was not created for mediocrity. She felt that in her spirit, and she knew that about herself. And there may be a lot of you on here that's feeling something. You know how you just, it's something. It's just something about that something. You feel it down in your spirit. That's something. When things are changing, evolving, and shifting, the shift is here, ladies and gentlemen, because we know something is going on, something is happening. But I want to tell you, something is all being orchestrated by the Lord Jesus, by God. We have to connect to who you are. I'm not telling you to run out here and go to church and stop preaching. What I'm telling you is spend some time with yourself. Spend time with yourself and talk to that thing that's talking to you, because there's power in you. There is a gift in you. And if you are not careful, you will hand that over to somebody who does not deserve it. You will live your life through the eyes of somebody else. You will hand your energy over to people who will do nothing but beat you down, tear you up, and spit you out, and then sit down with you and call you a friend. If you do not take the time to sit down and find out who you are. Because sometimes when you sit down with yourself, I sat down with myself and I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but I had to do it. And that's if you can't be real with you, you're not gonna be real with anybody else. So please believe, if you plan on doing business, you better get real with yourself. You better understand and have that conversation. How passionate are you about it? Because passion is going to be what's going to have to carry you on the nights when you feel like you ain't got the energy to push through, or that last client came through and that money is dissipating and it ain't lasting as long as you thought it was going to last, but you still got to be consistent. You still got to show up, because it's about you being true to you and the gift that you have. So if you feel like you have connected with any of the women on here tonight, they are on social media. Ladies, I don't know if you put Vern, thank you. She put her YouTube in the chat. You can find Sums on Instagram at Connect with Sums. I have her, let me just type in the chat her Instagram. You can connect with her, follow them, support them on their ventures. The energy that they shared here with you tonight is just the surface. It's just a little bitty scratch. So elevate yourself, increase increase your presence, increase your reach. Reach out to any one of these ladies that we met here tonight. I am so honored that your communities came on and supported you and supported Transformation Conversations as well. Thank you so much. I do not take it lightly that you all were here. Please follow these ladies. I'm typing everybody in the in the chat. If you can follow them and support their businesses, reach out to them. If you don't have a need for their services, you may know somebody who does. The way you can support is share their information. When you see their stories, when you see them on social media, share them out. That's how you support these small businesses. Please get in touch. Follow your dreams. If it's anything you think you need help with, I am the founder and CEO of Premier Consultants CFL, and I help women who struggle with doubt and reluctancy, and help them turn their dreams into thriving businesses. And if you feel like you're not quite sure what your story is and what it is you want to do, let's rewrite your story. Let's do that and get in touch with me. Go and book a call and we can discuss what it is that you think you may want to do. But if nothing else happens tonight, I want you to follow these ladies. I want you to like and subscribe to this thing because this train stops through here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m., baby. And it's no telling what you're going to see on here. It may be me, it may be another panel. I may just upload audio. Sometimes I do guided meditations. So stay in touch, stay in tune. I'm going to type one more social media in here for Vern. Please, Booskies, y'all help y'all girl out and put her stuff in this chat. I got Sums in there. I got Odie in there. So at this time, it is 7:50. I'm going to wrap up and ask each lady just to give a word of advice. I will start with you, Odie. In closing, do you have a line of advice to the viewers?
I will say this, what I said earlier. Learn to live life and stop letting life live you. Whatever that looks like for you, start living your life.
Thank you. Oh, hey, Lavonda, girl, I just saw you got on here. Hi, Lavonda Key. Oh, I'm sorry, I got so excited after when I see Lavonda. Thank you so much for joining, Lavonda. And Odie, thank you so much for that. Because baby, that was an epic statement tonight. That to start living life and stop letting life live you. Please take that with you. That is your free parting gift for the evening. Vern, do you have a salutation for the followers and the viewers?
Yes, live your life no matter what age you are. It doesn't matter how many times you start. God didn't say you're going to start over once. Start over as many times as you need. You may have started a business and it failed. Do it again. You might want to buy a house. Do it. I don't care if you're 75, buy it. I know a lady who was 75 and got married for the first time. I know a lady who was 80, was a model for the first time. Don't tell me that it can't be done. It doesn't matter your age. Just do it and trust God that he will direct your path. He will make that crooked path straight, period. Like he is that one. He is the GOAT. For real, he is the real GOAT, the real greatest of all times, and nobody beats him. So try him and taste him because you might like it, okay? So follow me on all social media of the Elevate with Vern. I love y'all. I don't see Odie's website.
Oh, I put her social media up here. Let me put it. Okay. Let me put her back up. Let me scroll down to where I put it. I thought I just had it up there. I got some up there. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There you go. That's Odie's social media. So now we are here with you, Sums. You have anything you want to close out and tell all the viewers?
What I definitely want to say is similar to what Odie said. Like you have to live your life and also know to figure out what is it that you really want to do. You know, don't focus on everybody else. Focus on yourself. Also, what I would say to my younger self is move with intention. Move with intention. You know, invest your money into different assets at a young age. That's something I regret doing, you know, but we live and we learn. We was all in a different generation compared to now. Like these kids, these teenagers, they have it easier versus back then where like technology wasn't so advanced. So that's something I'm going to give advice if any teenagers watching this or anybody. Do not rely on one paycheck. You don't have to be an entrepreneur like myself and these ladies here, but you can put your money into like assets, whether like day trading in the stock market, Forex, crypto, you know, get yourself some assets like life insurance policy, Roth IRAs, you know, invest in some properties, you know, have money that is going to grow residually, meaning you making money every month, make money in your sleep in a sense. And also protect your energy at all costs. It doesn't matter how old you protect your energy. And one tip I really regret as a person spiritually, I know it's a little personal, is learning how to not avoid red flags and set boundaries with anything.
There you go. That is a big one. Please do not catch your sign. If I tell you When you feel it in your spirit, you better pay attention, because if you don't, it's on you if you don't. And baby, I hope y'all had y'all baskets out, y'all notes out, because this was the diamond mine tonight. The gems was dropped. If y'all notice, I always have diamonds on all of my brands, because we go through so much pressure, but we come out shining as long as we persevere and keep going. Because I will promise you, the beginning is anywhere you start. Move from your seat to the stage. Stop sitting and clapping for everybody else. Realize who you are. Tap into your power. Get your butt up out that seat and get on the stage. Take your place on the stage and get comfortable with it. You have support. These three women, and including myself, if you are looking to find what is right and what it is you can do, you have access. Your access has been granted. So it's up to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Transformation Conversations tonight. I will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please give the ladies a round of applause in the chat. We love you. Thank you for joining us. Elevate with Vern, Connect with Psalms, and Queen Essentials. Vern, Summer, Odie, y'all have blessed me. I am truly honored that you were here. Thank you for spending this time with me tonight. We love y'all. Thank y'all for coming out.
Love
You're
and light.
welcome.
Bye.
Bye.